All right, what is going on, guys? This weekend is UFC Fight Night, Atlanta, Usman versus Buckley. We're going to be getting into my full card predictions. Starting off with the prelim opener of the fight we've all been waiting for, Jamie Lynn Horth versus Vanessa Demopoulos. This Fight Night card, it's better than the Apex cards we've been getting recently. I will give them that. There are still a few stinkers on this card, with this being one of them. But I understand not every fight can be just the most amazing fight we all wanted to see. I'm going to go Jamie Lynn Horth. Vanessa Demopoulos, like, all her wins in the UFC are pretty much like the bottom of the barrel at women's, was it strawweight or flyweight? I can't remember. Flyweight. I want to say she fought strawweight, though. I don't know. I think Jamie Lynn Horth is going to be too big, too strong for Demopoulos. I think Demopoulos' only path to victory would be to out-grapple Jamie Lynn Horth. And if I remember correctly, I think her last fight, she fought Miranda Maverick, and Maverick was having a hard time in the grappling department with Jamie Lynn Horth. I think that's who it was. It could have been a different Canadian. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, I'm going to go Jamie Lynn Horth to win via decision. And look at that. I didn't even realize how big of a reach advantage she has. 66-inch reach versus a 59.5-inch reach. Moving up the card, we have Phil Rowe versus Ange Losa. This fight was kind of tricky for me to pick. When this fight first got announced and I saw that it got announced, my gut reaction was to go Phil Rowe. He hasn't been the most active recently, but what's keeping me from wanting to pick Ange Losa is the fight he had, who was Brian Battle, where he quit. He quit in the fight with Brian Battle because he was losing that fight. I am going to go with Ange Losa. Not super confident in that pick, just based on the fact that he's shown to quit before. So, you know, Phil Rowe, I almost called him Philip Rowe, does have a good reach advantage and height advantage. So, could he use his jabs and kicks, keep it fight at range, and kind of I think if I see Phil Rowe winning, he's going to outpoint Ange Losa to a decision. Where for Ange Losa, I could see him kind of just peppering up Phil Rowe, moving in and out of that distance. So I'll go Ange Losa to win via decision. But not super confident in that. Moving up the card, we have Ricky Simone versus Cameron Smotherman. Pretty sure I picked Smotherman in his last fight, and he got destroyed. I'm going Ricky Simone in this fight. I'm going to pick Ricky Simone. Does he get the finish? I'm going to go Ricky Simone via decision, where he like almost finishes him at one point during the fight, but doesn't get the finish. Ricky Simone has good power. I know he kind of went on a skid there for a little bit, dropping a few fights. Came back in his last fight with the brutal knockout. I can't remember the guy's name. It just escaped my mind who the guy was. I'm pretty sure it's a Canadian guy. It's not Ayman Zahabi. Name. I want to remember his name now. Let's look. Pull it up here. I want to know his name. Basharat, yep. Okay, I remember that fight now. He looked really good in that fight. So maybe Ricky Simone's coming back, and he's going to put together a streak, fight a little bit of the lower level opposition. Like the guys he was losing to on that streak. It was like Mario Bautista. Who else was it? It wasn't Aldo, was it? I think it was Aldo. Pull it back up. Who was it? Vinicius Oliveira. Okay, I remember that fight. And Oliveira's ranked, and Song Yadong. Like, those aren't bad losses to have at all. I think he'll be able to come back or continue his streak of winning with a win over Cameron Smotherman. And Smotherman took the fight on short notice. I think it was a few weeks' notice. Moving up the card, we have Cody Durden versus Jose Ochoa. Hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Ochoa's the favorite. That's kind of surprising. I don't know. Cody Durden, it kind of seems like he's always trading wins and losses. So I kind of could see, and I believe he's significantly older than Jose. But for my official prediction, I'm going to be going Cody Durden to get it done via decision. I just think Durden is a little bit more well-rounded everywhere. Maybe Jose has a slight advantage in the striking department, but I think Durden will use his pace and his pressure and overwhelm Jose and even if I think he's going to shoot takedowns, even if he isn't able to get them. I think he's going to continue with the pick, kind of rob him a little bit. That's how I kind of see this fight going down. They're both, well, they don't have his reach on here. They're both 5'7", so probably both about the same size as far as reach goes. And I just see, he is kind of older, so I'm kind of worried about picking Cody Durden. I think he's 35 years old. But yeah, I'm going to go Cody Durden via decision. Next on the card, we have Malcolm Wellmaker versus Chris Montigno. They're bringing Chris Montigno is back in the UFC, famously known for losing to Sean O'Malley. And Malcolm Wellmaker, I think it was just a few weeks ago, he fought and KO'd Cameron Simon in his debut. I picked Wellmaker to win that fight. I can't remember if I picked it via KO or not. I think I picked via decision. I'm going to pick Malcolm Wellmaker to get this done. And I understand, Chris Montigno has put in some work outside of the UFC. After he got cut, I believe he's on a 4 or 5 fight win streak right now. I don't know why it says a loss. Maybe they're going off of last fight in the UFC was a loss, which would be true. But he's put on some work, but it's just not against the best level competition. I understand Wellmaker hasn't fought the best level opposition either. Like Cameron Simon, I don't think he's a bum by any stretch of the imagination. I think he's a very solid fighter. I think he's just too small for bantamweight. I don't know if he can make flyweight. But yeah, for my official prediction, I'm going to be going Malcolm Wellmaker via decision. I think Montigno was very hard to get out of there. In that Sean O'Malley fight, there wasn't much time left on the clock. They could have just let it go. I think it was maybe 30 seconds left. Something like that. They could have just let the fight. He was getting the shit beat out of him in that fight. They could have just let it go the 30 seconds, but the accumulation of damage got Sean O'Malley the stoppage. And I think in this fight, it's going to be similar. I really do. I could see like a late finish by Malcolm Wellmaker. Just pouring on the damage over and over and over. But Chris Montigno will not quit. He will keep moving forward. So as long as Wellmaker doesn't get overwhelmed by that, I think he's going to get the job done. Moving up the card, we have Michael Chiesa versus Court McGee. Two veterans of the UFC. I always like it when the UFC puts two older guys together to fight and not put them with the up-and-coming killers. It's like, let the old guys fight each other. Chiesa is a little bit younger than McGee. I think McGee's 41, and I think Chiesa is like 38 or 39 years old. So he's a few years younger than Court McGee. I don't see where Court McGee wins this fight. I don't. I think maybe he has a power advantage. I think that's probably the only advantage Court McGee has. I think Chiesa has better wrestling, better jiu-jitsu. I think McGee could be better at striking, but I think he's just too slow. I think Chiesa will be able to see the shots coming, be able to get out of the way. So for my official prediction, I'm going to be going Michael Chiesa via submission. I think it's going to be a late, maybe like a third round sub where they're kind of going at it. Maybe in the previous rounds, Chiesa was close to getting the sub, but wasn't able to lock it in fully. And then in that third round, I'm going to go rear naked choke. Michael Chiesa via third round rear naked choke. Could also see like a head and arm choke, something like that. But I think this should be a good fight for what it is. Two old guys going at it. Moving up the card, the featured prelim, we have Paul Craig versus Rodolfo Bellato. This fight was rescheduled from, can't remember what, I think it was an Apex card is what it was going to be on. And Bellato pulled out, I think it was either the day of or the day before. Pulled out, they just rebooked it. My prediction is going to say the same for this fight. I'm going to go Rodolfo Bellato via first or second round KO. He does have to be careful, though. Just like I mentioned in my previous prediction video on this fight. You cannot sleep on Paul Craig. If he hurts Paul Craig and follows him to the ground and is sloppy, Paul Craig will get a triangle. And I could see Paul Craig pulling this off via submission. But I can't pick him because he has a good triangle. I just can't pick him solely based on that. His striking's not very good. He has okay kicks. That's like the best part of his striking is his kicks. He has decent kicks. But I think Bellato has the power advantage. Obviously, Paul Craig has the jiu-jitsu advantage, but he's got dog shit wrestling. I don't think he could take Bellato down if he wanted to. Bellato's strong. I mean, they're the same height. But I think Bellato definitely has the power advantage in this fight. And I just see him bullying Paul Craig and getting that first or second round KO. But we'll see. I think if Paul Craig loses, they're probably going to cut him. And with the run he's been on recently, unfortunately probably deserves to get cut. He's got some sneaky good wins. He's got a win over Ankalaev, Jamal Hill. Nikita Krylov's a good win. But, you can't always just rely on you have one good submission, or you have to get the knockout to win. You can't rely on this one thing to win you the fight. You need to be well-versed everywhere. Moving up the card, opening up the main card. This should be a great fight. We have Alonzo Menifield versus Omar Sy. I'm going Omar Sy to win via decision. I think he could chin Menifield. Menifield has shown to be a little chinny in the past. I definitely think Menifield has the power advantage in this fight and like the straight up technical kickboxing advantage. But I think Omar Sy's the wrestling and the grappling is going to be what's going to win him this fight. And he has a pretty significant height and reach advantage as well. What are the odds for this fight? Oh, he's a heavy favorite. I wouldn't think he'd be that much of a favorite. But like Menifield in his last fight, I don't remember who it was against. I remember watching it. He was getting clipped up a lot in that fight. Very close, competitive last fight for Menifield. I wish I could remember who it was. I should have looked before I started this. But I think, unfortunately, unless he's able to clip Omar, I think he's just kind of going to get outdone for 3 rounds. Out-grappled, outstruck. I think Omar will use the threat of the takedown to set up his strikes and be able to get a win via decision. Maybe like a Menifield will win the first round type of thing, and Omar Sy will win the second and third. So we're going to Omar Sy via 29-28 unanimous decision. Moving up the card, that is a big favorite. Minus 800 favorite over Cody Brundage. We have Mansour Abdul Malik versus Cody Brundage. Listen, I'm going to pick Mansour Abdul Malik to win via decision. I'll pick him to win via decision, but I don't think he should be a minus 800 favorite. The 2 wins he has in the UFC are essentially meaningless. They're against people who really don't belong in the UFC. They're bottom of the barrel competition. In my eyes, the Brundage and Abdul Malik are pretty equal as far as where they are in the totem pole on the level wise. One might be slightly higher than the other. After this fight, we're going to figure out who that is. But I don't think Cody Brundage should be counted out in this fight. He's got good power. The only reason I'm not picking him is in his last fight, he got clipped and hurt by Julian Marquez. And Marquez is not that good. So I see Mansour Abdul Malik. I could even see him finishing Cody Garbrandt via like TKO. But I could also see I said Cody Garbrandt. It's Cody Brundage. Cody Garbrandt's, I think, next. I could also see Cody Brundage getting the KO over, giving him his first defeat over Mansour Abdul Malik. So I think this might be a closer fight than we're expecting, but I am expecting Mansour Abdul Malik to get the win over Cody Brundage, if I can get the name right. I'm gonna pick like 3rd round TKO. I'm gonna change from decision to like 3rd round TKO. Brundage just doesn't seem to have that good of a gas tank. He seems to like blow his load pretty quickly. Moving next on the card, we have Cody Garbrandt versus Raoni Barcelos. When this fight first got announced, I was like, oh, Garbrandt. That's no questions about that. Barcelos in his last fight was able to give Peyton Talbot his first loss. I picked against Raoni Barcelos in that fight. I just didn't think, he's like 37, 38 years old. I didn't think that Peyton Talbot's takedown defense was that bad. But he was able to get the win. Looked good in that fight. But I am going to be going Cody Garbrandt to win via decision. I can also see Garbrandt winning via KO. TKO, excuse me. I think why I'm picking Garbrandt in this fight, I know he got out-grappled in his last fight. And if Raoni Barcelos wants to win, I think he has to out-grapple Cody Garbrandt to win either via submission or decision. Cody Garbrandt, I don't say Barcelos the same level as Deiveson Figueiredo. That's Cody Garbrandt's last loss. Lost to Figueiredo. Got rear naked choke. I don't see Raoni Barcelos on that same level. So I think Cody Garbrandt's going to be too fast. Am I a little worried about his chin? Yes. Yes, I am. But I think he's going to be elusive enough. He's going to be faster than Barcelos. He's going to be able to get out of the way of Barcelos' strikes. But, of course, anything could happen. If he lands flush on Cody Garbrandt's chin, he could hurt him and finish him. But I think Cody Garbrandt's He's still got it. You know, obviously the chin's not what it used to be, but I think he's still got it, and I think he's going to get this one done via late TKO or decision. Excited for this fight. Moving up the card, the featured fight. This fight, I've actually gone back and forth, and I'm still not 100% who I want to pick. We have Edmen Shahbazyan versus Andre Petroski. This is how I see this fight playing out for either guy. So for Shahbazyan, I could see him chinning Petroski. Shahbazyan has very good power. Very good. He's very good on the feet. No grappling. No grappling, no cardio. None. Petroski, on the feet. Good grappling. He's got decent power, don't get me wrong. He does have decent power. But he's got the grappling, and he can go a hard 3 rounds. Shahbazyan's the favorite, which kind of makes sense because Petroski's had some questionable losses in the past. Like the one where he got knocked out by, like, hitting his head on the guy's hip, which was really weird. He lost to Michel Pereira, which that loss didn't age very well. In the short time it did, but now Pereira's out of the rankings at middleweight. If Shahbazyan's going to win, he's either going to win by KO in the first round, or where he wins the first 2 rounds, gasses completely, and loses the third. So I either see Shahbazyan winning via KO TKO in the first round, or 29-28 decision. For Petroski, I think the best path to victory for him is push the grappling, push the pace hard, and drain Shahbazyan's gas tank. It does not take much to drain Edmen Shahbazyan's gas tank. It's like the grappling deficiency and the gas tank is what's lost him all these fights. Like the Gerald Meerschaert fight. He was winning that fight. I believe he was at the 3rd round. He got submitted with a head and arm choke. He was winning that fight. He won the first 2 rounds. So even if Shahbazyan wins the first 2 rounds in this fight, I could see Petroski pulling off a submission of the 3rd. I might even just pick him, honestly. Fuck it. I'm going to pick him. I'm going to go Andre Petroski, 3rd round submission. I think he's going to be pushing the pace and pressure on Edmen Shahbazyan the first 2 rounds, drain his gas tank. Shahbazyan may even win one or 2 of those rounds, but I think in the 3rd round, he's going to be gassed out. This happens every time. Could regret this pick, but I'm going to go to Petroski via 3rd round submission. We'll see what happens. Moving on, the co-main event. We have Rose Namajunas versus Miranda Maverick. If I can get it to load up here. Maybe. Oh, it's derping out on me. There we go. Okay. Interesting fight here at flyweight. Every time Miranda Maverick has had to step up in competition, she's lost. Every time. She did not look the best in her last fight, but neither did Rose Namajunas. She at least won her last fight. For my official prediction, I'm going to be going Miranda Maverick to win via decision. I think she's going to just use the wrestling to outdo Rose Namajunas. And I don't know if she's going to be super successful in actually getting the takedowns, but I think just with the nonstop pressure is what's going to win her this fight. But I could see Rose winning this fight, but she's just looked like she's regressed so much. Ever since the Esparza fight, she has looked like absolute shit. Even in the fight she's won, she has looked bad. I could see Namajunas winning because even though, since she's moved to flyweight, I think she's 2-2. I think she's 2-2 if I remember correctly, or 2-1. I don't remember. I think she's 2-2 because she lost to Fior Blanchfield, and then she beat Cortez and Hibas, I think. Don't quote me on that. I think she's 2-2. But she's just regressed so much since that Esparza fight, like I said before, where I'm not confident in her abilities. I think her coach has kind of ruined her career, that's also her husband. And Miranda Maverick seems to be improving every fight out. Now, again, last fight, I think the woman she was fighting was just too big, too strong, where Namajunas is similar size to Miranda Maverick. So I see Miranda Maverick getting this done via unanimous decision. Moving on. The main event. We have Kamaru Usman versus Joaquin Buckley. This should be a great main event. Buckley's a pretty good favorite. I will be picking Joaquin Buckley. But it is not out of the realm of possibility for Kamaru Usman to pull this off. He hasn't fought in, what is it, like, it's been a while, a few years, I think. Was it 2023 he fought Khamzat Chimaev? I think it was 2023. So I think it's been a couple years since he's fought. And that's why I can't pick him. I understand he's probably like the second greatest welterweight of all time. But he hasn't fought in a few years. He did okay in the Chimaev fight. He clearly lost, but he did okay outside the first round, obviously. Could I see Usman winning, like, out-grappling Buckley? I think he could out-grapple Buckley, but I think Buckley's just going to be too strong, and he's not going to accept the position. I think, like, even if Usman gets him down, Buckley's going to fight to get back up. And I think they both have great power. They're probably pretty even in the power department. I think Buckley has a better variety of the strikes that he could use, where Usman's kind of basic with his strikes. Doesn't do anything fancy or flashy, which, you know, he can still get it done like that. But I think the variety of attack favors Buckley. Also, I think if it goes to the ground, I think Buckley has better scrambles than Usman. I think that'll be able to help him get up to his feet. Because I'm assuming, I could totally be wrong here, but I'm assuming Buckley's going to want to strike with Usman and knock him out. I could see a late round finish for Joaquin Buckley, but for my prediction, I'm going to be going Joaquin Buckley via decision. I think he's just going to outwork Usman for 5 rounds. I don't think the cardio is going to be a problem for Buckley. You know, I think he was into the 4th round for the Covington fight? I think he was into the 4th round. Usman obviously can go 5 rounds, hard 5 rounds, but that was years ago. I mean, the last time he went 5 rounds was the second Leon fight where he lost. But yeah, wouldn't 100% count out Usman, but I'm going to be going with Buckley via decision. Let me know in the comment section down below, who are you guys picking for the main and co-main event? Let me know down below. If you guys are new, please subscribe, drop a like on the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.